Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the German perfect tense, okay? The most common way in German to express the past tense. So we're going to look at the regular form, okay, in most cases, but we're also going to look at ihren, which are words which have come over from Latin, okay? So that's what we're going to do, guys. Past tense, perfect tense, keywords. All right, so let's have a look at what we got here. Now, first of all, okay, we'll look at the English equivalent, all right? So, I have done. Now, I have, you got the subject, the auxiliary, verb, and then you got what we call the past participle there in blue, done, and then we got he has played, okay, again, subject, auxiliary, and then the past participle. Okay, so we've got those there. So we got have, okay, with the person, that's the first part of it, and then the past participle. So to have, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So have a good look at that, guys and girls. Wow, that's fantastic, isn't it, sir? Yeah, brilliant. So we got to have there first of all, okay, on the left-hand side in English. So we're looking at the English first of all. Then we got the past participles: done, played, swum, she has swum, begun, said. It can go on and on and on and on. All right, okay. Now these, those words on the right, done, said, begun, etc., are past participles, ladies and gents. Exciting stuff, I know. Right, okay, let's try and sort of get some fantastic knowledge into this student here who at the moment is not getting it, hence the Now, in English, we tend to use what is known as the simple past or the imperfect a lot more. So instead of saying I have done, we tend to say I did. Instead of he has played, we tend to say he played. Instead of she has begun, we say she began. Okay, so that is worth noting. In English, we tend to use that more, particularly in conversation. Okay, but we also, to make things pretty more complicated for the foreign learner of English, if you like, we tend to use used to, was, were, ing, etc. Okay, all right. Whereas German, it sticks to the perfect tense. You know, so in many ways, for the learner of German, the English learner of German, things are a lot easier, in my opinion, and that's why this guy's upside down at the moment. Okay, so recap. Okay, so we got to have, okay, the auxiliary bit, and to be. Now, the point I'm trying to make here, ladies and gents, that in German, they tend to use haben and sein. Okay, in English we just use to have. So we're just going to have a look at today the to have version, ladies and gents. Okay, haben. Okay, so the breakdown of haben. Ich habe, I have. Hat, he has. Du hast, meaning you have. Sie hat is she has. I'm just going to put that in brackets here. Okay. And then we got wir haben, meaning we have. There we go. So we got wir haben, meaning we have. Sie haben, meaning you have, if it's with a capital S, if you're talking polite form. And sie haben, they have as well. Okay. Anyway, we're starting to do a slightly little complication now, ladies and gents. I had a few technical problems whilst making this. Okay. But a good, quick revision of what we had so far. And the guy says my head because obviously he was hanging upside down at some point, but has now recovered, as you can see, ladies and gents. All right, so we just had a breakdown of haben, okay, which is the auxiliary verb. Remember, I said there's also sein, but we're not going to do that today. Now, going to look at how to form the past participle. So we take the infinitive dictionary or the to form of the verb, okay? So this is what we do to it, okay? Now, first of all, I'm going to look at to buy, which is kaufen, okay? So kaufen is to buy, and in order to form the past participle, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to add on a GE at the front, okay, but first of all we're going to take off the E and put a T there. I forgot I did it that way around, but there we have it, ladies and gents. And then you put a G here at the front and you get gekauft, okay. Machen, which is going to come up and appear in a minute. Just a quick little warning in advance here. I muck around with the EN a little bit. I'm a bit fussy about the fact I haven't put it in red first of all. Okay, so I put it in red. Look, I then rub it out. I then want to put it in red again. properly. Do it properly this time. Then take it off. Come on. Yeah, see, I've taken off, ladies and gents. Put a T there, and then gemacht here. By the way, past participles in German go to the back of the sentence. Yeah, at the end of the sentence, probably a better term. So, anyway, ich habe, okay, and then gekauft. Literally, I have bought or I bought. Remember that gekauft will go to the end of the sentence if you have other words in the sentence, which we'll talk about later. And I hope the information is going in. Yes, it is, sir. It's fantastic news. Look. Anyway, if you want to say have you bought, it's hast du gekauft, which by the way can also translate as did you buy. Okay, going back to that point that English has more equivalence to the German than the German does. Therefore, German is easy in this respect, in my opinion. Right. So, moving on, ladies and gents. Now to this bit here, we've got this guy pointing away, and he's pointing at this sentence here. So we have here an example of the sentence of what I was saying earlier. Ich habe es gemacht, with the gemacht past participle at the end of the sentence. I have done it, or I did it. Okay, es meaning it. Now, I mentioned right at the beginning of the video that I would look at ieren verbs, I-E-R-E-N. These are ones that are basically of Latin origin. Okay. Now, so your ieren. Now we still deal with the en. Now the en still gets replaced with t. Okay, so we end up with iert. However, and the point I'm going to make in a minute is that you do not add on ge at the front of these past participles. You do not do that. Okay, so that's like communiceren becomes communiziert, for example, communicated, and so on. Right, just making quickly the point with regards to if you put a time word at the beginning of a sentence, okay, we have to invert. It's known as inversion, where we swap the subject or the person with the auxiliary verb. So, for example, ich habe becomes habe ich. So, gestern habe ich es gemacht. Yesterday I did it, or I have done it. Okay, so I did say auxiliary verb. It's any verb really. So even in other contexts where you got a time word at the beginning, you have to swap the person and the verb around. Okay, all right, but